I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and welcome to the last formulation I'm sharing in 2020, which is kind of crazy. So this lovely tin is full of a Midwinter conditioning beard balm. The conditioning part of this beard balm comes from the inclusion of some BTMS 25, which contains 25% of the cationic benzhydramonium methylsulfate. BTMS is easily one of my favorite ingredients for hair care things of all kinds. It just leaves my hair feeling so manageable and soft, and it has that same wonderful effect on beards. When we combine that BTMS 25 with some beautiful carrier oils like argan oil, jojoba oil, castor oil, and coconut oil, and just a titch of beeswax, we get a really gorgeous, soft, ointmenty consistency that's just decadent. My beard owning formulation tester reported that this beard balm made his beard really soft and manageable, and he really liked it. The scent comes from just 0.2% of a fragrance oil or essential oil of choice. I used one called Kentucky Bourbon from Brambleberry. That's really quite lovely and very beard balm appropriate, but honestly anything is beard balm appropriate if it is, safe to be on your face and you like the way it smells, or the person with the beard who's using it likes the way it smells. So yeah, have fun there. The making of this is very simple. We're basically just melting everything together, stirring until creamy, adding the cool down ingredients once it's cool enough, and then pop that in a tin and you're done. As always, please make sure you are reading the full partner blog post linked in the description box below. There's lots of great information down there about substitutions, scaling, shelf life, links to places to buy all the ingredients, just lots and lots of good stuff. Come on, let's get started. We'll begin by combining our heated phase ingredients in a small heat-resistant glass measuring cup. You'll need 3 grams of BTMS 25, 3 grams coconut oil, and you can choose virgin or refined depending on how much you like the smell of coconut, 1.8 grams castor oil, and 0.9 grams beeswax. To melt everything through, I'm going to use a water bath. So this is a small saucepan that has about 1 inch or 3 centimeters of water in the bottom of it. And I'm going to go pop this on the stovetop for about half an hour to melt everything through, making sure to stir as I go to really encourage that BTMS 25 to melt, as it can be a little bit stubborn. Once everything has melted, you can remove your pan from the heat and then remove the measuring cup from the water bath. So to speed up cooling, I've held back 2 of the carrier oils, so we can add them now and they'll help bring that temperature down a little faster. So we'll need 3 grams argan oil. Make sure you give that a stir right away. You can see that it's working. And 3.195 grams jojoba oil. You don't need to do this. You could just heat everything together, but I found that this works quite nicely. You can see from the cloudiness that is kicking in that this is already cooling down and thickening, and good stuff. If you live somewhere very hot, or if you're making quite a large batch, you may wish to sort of do this stirring and cooling step in an ice bath, but for a 15-gram batch in the temperature in this room, it's just fine to stir as is. Once the mixture has cooled enough that if you draw a spatula across the bottom, you get a bit of a line before it fills in. You kind of see that happening there. Boop. Then we can add our last 2 ingredients. So our last 2 ingredients are vitamin E and our fragrance. Pop that on our scale there. You'll need 0.075 grams vitamin E. Unless you have a very lovely scale, your scale is unlikely to be able to register 3 decimal points, so somewhere between 0.07 and 0.08 is fine. It kind of said 0.07 and then it just sort of ticked up to 0.08, so I'm happy with that. For fragrance, I'm using this one called Kentucky Bourbon from Brambleberry, but you can use anything that smells the way you would like your beard to smell. And you'll need just 0.03 grams of fragrance. If your scale's not precise enough to pick that up, it's approximately 2 drops. So our next step is stirring this until it has become sort of an ointmenty, creamy, gel-like consistency. And we are already well on our way there. You can see we've got quite a nice trace happening here. You drizzle the spatula over the surface and you do get a noticeable sort of 3-dimensional trace on the surface of the product. Once the beard balm is sort of a scoopable consistency, we are ready to package it up. How long this will take will depend a lot on the container that you're mixing it in. So if you made this in metal or thin glass or plastic, it's going to cool down a lot faster than with thicker glass. The size of your batch, of course, will also impact that, and then ambient temperature. So if you are making a big batch, you'll probably want to use an ice bath, because this last little while does take, or can take, a bit of extra time, depending on sort of how patient you are. So for packaging, I'm going to use this little 15 milliliter screw top tin from Humblebee, and this was a gift. So I'm just gonna scrape this down and get as much product as possible into our little tin. And that is it for the making. I'm going to use one of these custom Humblebee and Me labels that I had printed up from Sticker Mule. I'll throw my refer a friend link in the description box below if you want to check them out. And there we go. So we just made a really lovely, creamy midwinter conditioning beard balm. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and please make sure you are reading the full partner blog post, which is linked in the description box below. As always, there's a lot more great information in that post, information on substitutions, scaling, shelf life, where to buy ingredients, and a whole lot more. So yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.